Hello, everybody. I'm hoping that everybody can see and hear me right now. Welcome to How to Become a Real Success. This is Latrice Williams McKnight, your host, and I am so hoping that you guys can see and hear me right now. We have been trying to get this up and going for the past 40 minutes, and so I would come in and I would come out. And so now I'm up and I hope I'm running and I hope I'm clear. I hope that you guys can see me. I hope you guys can hear me because tonight's information is so vital, and that's what it is. This is the enemy don't want you to get this information. So I'm hoping that it's up and it's going and that you can see and that you can hear me. I'm looking at my Real Success TV and it is logging in. Here we go. Here we go. I think that
Hello, everybody.
we have power.
That
Yes.
everybody can see and hear
So
me right
let's
now.
do this.
Welcome to How to Become a Real.
Let's do this. So I am here live with you now, and I'm hoping that everybody can see and hear me. If you can see and hear me, please give me a text. Please send me the information. Just let me know that I see you, Latrice, or I hear you, Latrice. Just want to know that everybody can see and hear me so that we can get started. I don't want to start without anybody not seeing or hearing me. So I wanted to make sure that we have our books out, make sure that we're ready to go, and make sure that we are able to right now get empowered, get inspired, get energized, and ready to know how to be a real success. So if you could see and you could hear me, go ahead and send me a text, send me an email just to let me know that you are up and we are going. We are up and we are going. Just send me a text and say, I see you, Latrice. I see you, Latrice. Or I can hear you, Latrice. I can hear you, Latrice. Go ahead and send me some messages. I think I have 5 viewers on the line right now. It just went to 8 viewers, 9 viewers. Okay, you guys can probably see and hear me then. Send me a text. Let me know. I see you. Okay, or somebody said, I see you, Latrice. What's up, Niecy? I'm sorry about them Detroit Lions, girl. I'm sorry. You know, I was rooting for my boy Daryl too, but I had to root for my Cowboys. Woo! All right, who else is on the line? Who else is on the line? Go ahead and send me a text. Send me an email just to let me know that we are up and going. We are up and going. I can see and hear you. Cooking with Grease. All right, my London crew. What's up, Sean? Love y'all. Okay, we are on the line. We are on the line. Okay, we are going. We are going. I think we are okay. Here's Latricia. Latricia. All right, we good. All right. Great. I think everybody is. Oh, I got a whole bunch. I can see you. I can see you. I can hear you. I can hear you. All right. Wonderful. All right, guys, I am so sorry that it took this long. But like I said, we had some Dallas Cowboy haters out there who were messing with my line and they just totally screwed me up tonight. But it's okay because what I have for you tonight is important information that I know that is powerful and that you need to hear. So what I want to do is, like I remember our rule from last week, we start out with just the word of prayer. So if you can come with me just to the throne of God real quick. Good evening, God. It's me, Latrice, and Lord, I thank you. I thank you right now for the time that I'm about to share with these fantastic, lovely leaders, oh God. And so, Lord, I thank you for the hiccup, oh God, because that hiccup meant something, oh God. It meant for me to take the time to just think and reflect on how important this time is with these women, oh God. So God, as I go through this, bless me, oh God, and just hide me behind your cross so that they see less of me and more in thee. I love you, and I promise that I will talk to you again before the night is over. In your precious son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Guys, yes, you guys are all right. Everybody saying I can see and I can hear you. Got you. Yes, Jaleel. One of my favorite clients, I got your information for the 90-day challenge, and we are up and running. So, guys, I thank you all for joining me tonight and being here this evening on this call on how to be a real success. And like I said tonight, we are going to use our books. So I hope that you guys have your booklets out and you're ready to go, because tonight we're going to learn about relationships. We are going to learn the importance of relationships and why it is so important that you know about how to get along with people, and the importance of people in your life and how they are meant to be in your life so that you can grow from knowing them. So we're going to talk about just relationships right now. And we're going to talk about how success and relationship play a very detrimental part in us becoming a real success. So what I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, is that we talked last week about how to know yourself. And that was a powerful class last week, because what I want to let you know is that in order to be a real success, you have to first know yourself. And we talked about last week about knowing yourself. And there was 4 things that we talked about that you needed to know in order to know yourself. Okay. And the first thing we talked about was your strengths. You have to know your strengths. The second thing we talked about was your weaknesses, that you have to know your weaknesses. The third thing we talked about was your interests. And then the fourth thing we talked about was your opportunities. So I wanted you to understand that you have to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your interests, and your opportunities in order to know who you are and to know yourself. So as we go through our lesson tonight, I wanted to start, of course, first of all, with letting you know the meaning of success. I guarantee you, if I said right now, how many of you out there want to be a success? Okay, I guarantee you that every arm would be raised. But the thing is that what is success? What is success? If I ask each and every one of you what success is, I guarantee you I'd have different answers from each and every one of you, because success is measured differently by each and every one of us. So what I want to talk to you about is what I believe the definition of success is and how it comes about into our lesson on how to be a real success. So I want to start out with our book. If you open up your book, and you actually will go to the first area where you would have to start filling out the information. And it actually says, from a quote from Early Wilson, and it says, "Success is simply a matter of luck. Ask any failure." And that is so true. If you ask somebody who is failing, they'll say, and if you look at somebody and they look at somebody who is successful, they would say, "Oh, it's just luck." But let me tell you, it's a lot more than luck, because let me tell you what success is. Success is, your first line is knowing my purpose in life. It's as clear as that. If you don't know your purpose in life, you won't be able to go where you want to, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? Right? So that's why it was so important for us last week to just get to know who we are and to know ourselves, and so that you can know yourself and know your purpose in life and how you can get to where you're going. So the first thing in our book on the first line is knowing my purpose in life. Knowing my purpose in life. The next thing about success is growing to my maximum potential. Growing to my maximum potential. Success, that's what it is to your maximum potential. Each of us may have different potentials. Each of us may not have the maximum potential to go here or to go there, but we all have our maximum potential. And your maximum potential will come about when you know what your purpose is in your life. So the thing is once you know your purpose in life, then you can grow to your maximum potential. Because if you know where you're going, you begin to set up different things in your life that you need to do in order to get to where you want to go. Okay, so you have to know your purpose in life, and then you can grow to your maximum potential. And then the third thing, sowing seeds that benefit others. Let me tell you something, knowing, growing, and sowing, that's your formula to true success. Because once you start sowing seeds into others so that they can benefit, you will get a feeling of such joy, such inspiration, so enthusiasm. Let me tell you something, the same adrenaline that flows through you when you get is the same adrenaline that you get when you give. I'm telling you, it's awesome. And the thing is that when you sow into others and they begin to grow, you begin to see your deeds and your things that you poured into these individuals. You begin to see them grow. And that's how you know that you've become a success. It's just that when we look at our children grow and we look at kids all around us who we poured into, and we watch them and we see them becoming successful, we're successful. I had the awesome opportunity this week to go to an event of one of my dear mentees and my clients, Felicia Ford. I watched Felicia do her first event. And I watched her, and as I watched the individuals there in the audience, and as they responded, and as they did their vision boards, and as I stood and sat and watched her talk, I realized that those were my nuggets too. I shared that as we go through life, if you cannot handle the dirt, if you cannot handle all the dirt you got to go through, you will never get to the goal. or you will never appreciate the gold, because there's so much dirt that you have to go through to get one little nugget of gold. And so as I was there, I sat and I looked around and I thought about all of the things that me and Felicia had to go through, all of the overcomings that she had to have, and all of the time that we had to take to each other for her to do that. And I said to myself, look at all the nuggets, because the people who were there was a product of me and her sitting and collaborating together to get herself together. And as I looked at that, I realized this is success. This is success. Me sewing into her and then her sewing into others made me realize that that's my success. Her success is my success. And that's what we have to realize when we're going through life, that we have to know what we're going to do. Then we have to grow. We have to set up tiers in different areas in our life that we have to accomplish certain things in order to get to where we need to go. And then we have to sow when we get there. So it's knowing, growing, and sowing. Those are your three things. That's what success is: knowing, growing, and sowing. We're going to see an R. The R, what happens is when we go through this lesson, you'll see REAL. That's the acronym, okay, the word real. And we have an acronym. And it's actually R is for relationships, E is for equipping, A is for attitude, and L is for leadership. So our first line up here, the R, is for relationships. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about relationships. And we go through each line right here. We say, when asked what one single characteristic is most needed by those in leadership positions, most chief executives of major companies replied, the ability to work with people. If you cannot work with people, you cannot do your job, because you're going to need people around you in order to accomplish your success. Okay. So the most important single ingredient to the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. That was Teddy Roosevelt, one of our presidents. Okay. So in actual studies of leadership in America's business, it has been proving that the average executive spends 3/4 of his working day dealing with people. We deal with people all the time. Even if we're not in business, we deal with people every day. You go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, everywhere we go, we got to deal with somebody. So the thing is that we have to understand that how important relationships are in our businesses, in our lives. We deal with our kids, we deal with our husbands, we deal with people every day. And if we can't get an understanding of the importance of relationship, things are just going to go to pot. So success is 87% people knowledge. You have to know people. Okay. And it's 13% product knowledge. And the thing is that we find in companies that we deal so much with dealing with the product that we forget about the people. And so I talked about this on the line. I had a great opportunity to talk to some Tracy Lynn jewelers the other night, and it was amazing to talk to them on the line. And that's what I wanted to explain to them, how important relationships are. I'm not going to buy your jewelry just because it's Tracy Lynn. There's like hundreds of Tracy Lynn jewelers out here, but I will buy from Bonnie because I know Bonnie. I love Bonnie. Okay. And so it's about relationships. And the thing is that if I know somebody, I'm more apt to buy from them than I am to buy from somebody who I don't know. So the thing is, you have to know that you have to know people, and that's 87% of people knowledge. So you have to know that it's only 13% of product knowledge. And so it's so important that when we're working with people and when we're trying to grow in being a success, that we get to know the people who we're trying to sell to. That's why it's so important when I share with individuals who are starting businesses, or individuals who are in businesses, or individuals that are trying to reach a certain audience, that you have to know that audience. You have to do research. You have to do some databases, and you have to do some marketing analysis so that you can know the people who you're trying to reach, so that you can promote to them, so that you can advertise to them, so that you can know exactly what they need, so that you can supply their needs. That's how you are going to make it and be a real success, by knowing the individuals who you're trying to market to. Okay. And the thing is that sometimes when you are dealing with individuals, you have to understand that everybody is not good people. Everybody is not people who you're going to need to be around. There's certain people who you don't need to work with. There's certain people who you don't need to actually form certain relationships with. If you have to have a working relationship with them, make it a working relationship, but make it minimal as far as you having to deal with them. I'm going to tell you why. Because it says right here, most people can trace their successes and failures to relationships in their lives. I'm telling you that. Sometimes when you go through things in life and when you backtrack and realize, you know what, this is happening because of this individual who was dealing with me back here in the day. And the thing is that it's how we deal with that particular situation that happened to make it better in the future. But the thing is, I guarantee you that the reason why you are failing or did something to fail had something to do with a relationship prior to where you are now. So I want to say something. This line right here says some people add to our lives. Okay, they're either going to give to you, okay, when they're going to pour into you, they're going to give you positive feedback. They're going to give you a clearer understanding of who you are. They're going to help you to achieve your goals. They're going to help push you. They're going to help encourage you. They're going to help inspire you. They are going to add to our lives. But then you have some people who are subtracting from your life. You know that person, by the time you get in the grocery store and you see them coming down that aisle, you trying to turn your cart to go the other way. Because you know when they get to you, they're like, girl, how you doing? Because, girl, I am not feeling it today. Let me tell you about what happened to me. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. Can you do this for me today? Can you do that for me today? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? They're going to suck you dry. Just suck the living life out of you. And that's the type of people who we don't need to be around. The people who are just sucking the very life out of us. So we have to understand that there are people first, like I said, who are going to add value to you. And then other people who are going to subtract from your life. But there's some people who multiply to our lives. Oh my goodness, those people are doing some of everything for you. They're adding value to you over and over and over and over again. They're just in your life. And it's just, they're just there and they're just being the person who you need them to be plus some. I love those people. Those are my coaches and my mentors that are in my life every week when I tune in and call into my John Maxwell team. Those people are there to pour into us, to feed into us, to build us up, to push us. My mentor out in Tennessee, Bishop Walker, is always there to just supply. Even after I'm finished school 3 years, he's still here. He's still pushing me. He's still helping me to accomplish what I need to do. Those are the multipliers in your life. You need to latch on to the people who are multiplying in your life too. But let me tell you something. There's also people in your life who divide our lives. Okay, those are the people, they don't just subtract, but they will divide, because what they start to do is they don't just try to subtract from you, but they try to subtract from the people around you. And those are the people who I say are trying to divide you. Somebody who's always trying to cause some type of issue, some type of problem, not with just you, but the other people within your circle. And those are the people that I know are confused. They need a lot of help because they don't know where they're going. So because they don't know where they're going, they don't want nobody else to go nowhere, because if somebody else goes somewhere, they're going to leave them behind. And they're the people who don't want to be left behind. So what do? They cause division. They start dividing amongst the people who are around them. And those are the people who you have to be very aware of, so that you can maybe pour into them and maybe help them to start understanding, honey, you are confused. You don't know where you're going. So I'm going to help you. Why don't you get to know your strengths, get to know your weaknesses, get to know your interests, and get to know the opportunities that are surrounding you. Ask them to answer those 4 questions so that you can push them maybe to the next level, so that they can be a part of the circle that is not dividing and is not subtracting, but wind up adding to the group. Okay, so you have some people who are going to add to your lives, some people who are going to subtract from your lives, some people are going to multiply to your life, and then some people who are going to divide our lives. And then let me go through the relationship rules. The number one relationship rule, the number one, and I know y'all know this one because we spent last week an hour talking about it. The number one relationship rule is to love and accept yourself. Love and accept yourself. I'm telling you, if you cannot love and respect yourself, you will not be able to be in a relationship with anybody. So it starts by you being in that mirror saying, I love me. I love me. Me is all that and a bag of chips. Yes, I am. And with barbecue, okay, sauce on it. So you need to tell yourself how much you love yourself. You have to know that the number one person and the number one relationship that you need to be worried about is the relationship with yourself. Let me tell you, it says it right here. The only relationship in your life that is continual and therefore most important is the one with yourself. Don't you know you the one who got to live with you every single day? Even our kids grow up and they go away. Even our husbands go to work, or either sometimes they may leave, but the husbands go to work and they're not with you, but you have to stay with you 24/7. 365 days of the year. So you got to learn to love yourself, okay? The first person to learn that you have to learn to get along with is you. I tell people all the time, if you are thinking about your attitude and you say to your attitude, you know what, I don't like you right now, you need to check it, because if you can't have lunch with your attitude, don't nobody else wants to have lunch with your attitude too. Okay, so you have to make sure that you check yourself first. The first person you learn to get along with is you. You have to get along with yourself before you can form relationships or get involved in relationships with anybody else. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to know. So love and accept yourself. And then the first person you learn to get along with is you. Okay. The number two relationship rule is put energy into being likable. Now, I'm not saying you have to go around and just like everybody, but the thing is, can you smile? Can you give a little smile when you're walking around? Can you be happy sometimes? The thing is, what I love, and this is something that is just a natural thing with me, and there's some natural things in other people. We call it charisma. Okay, I walk around and y'all know me. I constantly have this smile on my face, and it is because I'm happy, because I know my purpose, because I know where I'm going. I know how I'm growing, and I'm sowing. I'm sowing into you guys tonight, and it makes me keep a permanent smile on my face. And when I go into a store, and if I go into a building, people are always going, "You always smiling. Oh, you got such a beautiful smile." And I'm like, thank you. But let me tell you something. I wasn't born with this smile. Okay, I did not come out Lanice Ramsey Williams's womb with this big smile on my face. Okay, I had to grow. Okay, I had to first know, and then I had to first grow, and then as I began to sow, the smile came. Okay, and so the thing is that we have to put energy into that, though. We have to start putting energy into just being likable by knowing who we are. And once you love yourself, let me tell you something, it will shine from within. Once you begin to love yourself, it will start to come out in that smile. It will start to come out in those eyes. And please forgive my eyes, because I'm just coming over a cold, flu. I don't know what it is, but I'm here tonight with you, and I'm a little allergies and cold and all this stuff and fever. But I came tonight because I knew I had to sow into you. So the thing is that once you put that energy into being likable, and once you put that energy into loving yourself and knowing who you are and growing yourself, it will begin to naturally just flow out of you, where you'll have that permanent smile on your face. You'll have the sparkle in your eyes, because you love yourself, because you know who you are, you know whose you are, and it'll start to radiate out of you. And then you'll begin to have that energy surrounding you, where people will come like, "Ooh, there's just something about her. Look at her smile. Look at," and you'll put that, the energy will just come into you. But you have to put energy into being likable. Okay. The number 3 rule in relationship rule is remember their names. Remember their names. It is so important to know people's names. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm in different situations and I know I'm going to certain places, I try to get the information. I get into places early. If any of you know me, when I'm doing any type of training or any type of event, I get there early. And what I start to do is I start to what you call work the room, where I go around and I start to talk to people and I ask them their names. I love events that have name tags because then I can look at the names. But a lot of times I will find out certain people's names, even if they don't have a name tag. And I'll tend to ask them about themselves, and I get to know where they're from and about their families and things like that. And it'll help me to remember their names because there's always something particular about them or something unique about them that I can remember. It will help me remember their names. But always remember people's names. That's the number 3 rule in relationships. Number 4 is focus on their interests. Remember I talked about how so many things are people knowledge. 87% is people knowledge, about you knowing about the individual. This is what I'm talking about, when you have to know their interests. You cannot be in relationships with people or even grow your business or grow relationships around you if you don't know people's interests. Because for instance, if you were involved in certain people and you're trying to get them gifts, or you're trying to know what things maybe can help with marketing to them, and you're putting down all the wrong information. For instance, I do not like the color pink. I mean, forgive me, y'all. Me and pink just don't do right. Okay. So if you send me a pink scarf, I will thank you, but it is not something that I would really, really want. So it's something that you just kind of turn me off by sending me something pink. And so it's kind of like, then you won't have my full attention. It's like, Bonnie, better not give me no pink jewelry because I don't do pink. And so it's like you have to know the people's interests. So it's really important that you focus on individuals and know what they like so that you can advertise to them and market to them, and that you can grow in a relationship with them. So it's important to, number 4, to focus on their interests. Number 5, request the help of others. Let me tell you, that's a real downfall with a lot of us. We do not request the help of others. We try to do everything on our own. We try to do everything by ourselves. But let me tell you something. 1 is too small of a number to create greatness. You have to have help. And let me tell you something else. Those people can bring so much more value to you when you're getting the help from them. So the thing is, gather them, know who they are, and gather them around you so they can help you to build a successful life, business, whatever you're trying to do. It is so important for you to get the help of others. And also what this does for other people, it shows them that you're trusting them. And it shows them that you're valuing them. And the thing is that you want people around you to know that you're valuing them. You want them to understand that, yeah, you know what? You're important to me. You're important to this team. You're important in my life. So I need your help. You'll be surprised on the feedback that you get when you just ask someone for help. I do that all the time with Kenneth, my grandson. He's 7 years old, and we love asking him to help, and he loves to help. And when you ask him, his eyes get so big, and he goes all out in order to help you, and he wants to do his very best, and he doesn't want to disappoint us because he wants to show us that he can be trusted. You should do the same thing with your team and the people around you. They're there to help you. So gather their help. Ask them for the help. It'll help you to build relationships, and it will help you to become a success. Number 6, add value to other people. You have to start understanding that it's so important for you to gather information. Once you start to gather information, to read, to get on classes like this, to get information, to grow, once you begin to do that, then you start adding value to other people. When I tell you these things, I want you to go and tell other people these things, and then come back and learn some more next week so that I can tell you and you can tell them. And the thing is that once you start adding value to people, people will start to be like, wow, they care. And they'll start to want to come around you because you know so much. You're a teacher, you're an inspirer, you're an equipper, and they love that. And they want to be around you because you have information that they can use, that they can take with them, that it's applicable in their life today, that they can use to help them to grow. And so what you need to start doing is adding value to them. All the information that you have inside of you, start to share share it with the others around you. Believe me, it's okay. It's nobody's going to take your job. Nobody's going to take your position. Nobody's going to take away anything from you. The thing is, you got to give in order to receive. If you keep holding all of that stuff that you got inside of you and all of the knowledge, you won't be able to open up your mind to receive new things. So begin to add value to people. Begin to pour into others so that we can pour more into you and you can continue to pour more out. See, the knowing, growing, and sowing, and the sowing is adding value to others. I hope you guys can stay with me for about 5 more minutes. I promise I'll let you go. Just want to finish this up. How to add value to people. Okay, let me tell you how to do that. And that's what I was sharing with you. We add value to people when we truly value people. Like I was sharing with you a minute ago. If you value the people around you, you'll ask them for help and you'll show them that you can trust them. You can show them that you have some type of way that they can grow by giving them things that they can do, showing them that you trust them. And that's how you can value them. That's how you can show them that you value them, by giving them opportunities to do things so they can help you. Okay, make others more valuable. And that's a great thing. Make them valuable. Say, you know what? I'm going to be out of the office today and I need you to be in charge. And I know some of y'all going, ain't no way in the world I'm going to do that. Well, if you can't do that, then you really need to start working with your people. Okay. And if there's a reason why you can't let your child pour milk, you need to teach them how to pour milk. And if there's something that you can do where you can leave your child in charge, there's something that you need to work on, because you have to start doing things to make others feel more valuable. And so to do that, you got to start pouring into them, teaching them, helping them to understand so that you can start leaving them in charge, so that you can show them that they're more valuable. Because let me tell you something, when you begin to build other people up, and I tell people this all the time, you cannot be a success if you're not creating a successor. Because if you're not going to be able to go nowhere, because you don't have nobody to take over for you. Once you have somebody take over for you, that means there's somewhere higher for you to go. So the thing is the thing about this way too, if you have kids, imagine teaching your kids how to do things on their own. Once you teach them how to do things on their own, it frees you up from doing it for them. This way you can do other things and you can learn other things, and you can, maybe if you teach some of us out here and got teenagers, it's time for them to learn to drive. Okay, teach them how to drive. Think about the freed up time you'll have from dropping them off at an event. Okay, because they're able to do things on their own. So we have to now start to show people that they're more valuable. Another thing, the next one is know and relate to what they value. Like I said, know what they're valuing and relate to it. We have to be more connected to the people who we're around and the people who we're in relationships with. We have to get to know them. We have to get to be able to relate to them. I love working with our youth and our young people, and people tease me all the time when I'm listening to all of this music and R&B and stuff, but I tell people all the time I'm working with kids. And so I want to, because in order for me to grow them and to help them to understand what's going on, I have to know what they're going through, and I have to know what they're listening to, because the things that they're putting in their mind today, you'd be surprised at some of the stuff that's going on out here, what they're listening to and what's soaking into their spirit. So I have to know those things so that I can maybe talk to them to help them to understand what they don't need to do. So the thing is, know and relate to what they value. The number 7 is follow the 101 principle. And what I mean by that is find the 1% that you agree on and give 100% to that effort. Sometimes we're not going to agree on everything. You know that when we're in relationships with others, whether it be our family, our children, our husbands, or whatever, or people who we're working with, we are never going to agree 100% on it. But there are some things that we're not going to agree on. And so when you find that 1% that you agree on, the things that, you know how we don't agree on nothing, okay, but there is something that we agree on. If you find that 1% that you agree on, work 100% to give it your full effort to make it the best. Because I'm telling you, if you find something that you all agree on and y'all all start to work on it together, guess what? It's going to be amazing. And then you'll start to form relationship from it. You'll start to build upon each other from it, and you'll start to grow with each other from it. So think about that. The 101 principle is finding the 1% that you agree and give it 100% of your effort. It's a powerful thing. And I guarantee you it'll help grow your team. It'll help grow your family. It'll help grow all the relationship that you're around and you're forming. And it will help you to be a real success. Okay, and the number 8 is love people more than opinions. Oh, this is a hard one. This is a real hard one. To love people more than opinions. I'm telling you this from experience. I've been married for 30 years. Yes, 30 years in October, going on 31 this October, but 30 years. And let me tell you, my opinions, honey, me and Lynn both, we have opinions. And you know what? I try to understand that we're not going to agree on everything. But you know what? I love him more than I love my opinions. And I have to realize that. And a lot of times we have to think about compromising. And so that's what I'm trying to explain to you right now, is that even though you don't have the same opinion, you still can love the person. And once you have that love for that person, that the love will overpower the opinion. And sometimes what you can do, even as the boss and even as the leader, is learn to compromise and come to an understanding of how you all can get along or how we can work this out. And it's always when you're loving the people who you're working with, and I'm not saying loving in a way like I love Lynn, but loving what you're doing, the job, and loving what they're doing for your company. Then you begin to understand that the opinions really don't matter, but it's the people who matter. Because if the people leave, you can't do anything, because you'll have to get more people and then you're starting all over again. So sometimes we have to love the people more than we love the opinions. Number 9, follow the golden rule. The golden rule is do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And that is so true, because if you don't want that done to you, why in the world would you think that somebody else would want you to do it to them? So that's the number 9, is follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Number 10, seek out resources to help you grow in your relationship skills. Seek out resources to help you grow in your relationship skills. I do this all the time in my coaching practices. If I am in a situation where I know that there's a person who has some real extensive need of help psychologically, I am not a doctor. And so I will give them a resource of letting them be able to go to someone who can help them in that area. And that's what we all can do. Whether we don't know anything, we need to find resources, books, classes, things, anything that we can do to help us to grow and to help us grow in our relationship skills. There are all kind of books out here on relationships. There are all kind of experts, relationship experts out here that you can build from, get some information from, to help you to build on your relationship skills. And that's what I love to do. I love to seek out resources, and that's what I do. And I hope that I can be a resource to you too during this next 5 weeks to help you to build relationships, to help you understand relationships, to help you get the skills you need to build relationships so that you can be a real success. Now, the next thing on your sheet is a relationship inventory. And next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the lines, and I'm going to invite some people on the line, and I'm going to ask some of you to share with us your relationship inventory. Your relationship inventory is your 1 as always and 5 never. And I want you to go through this. I want you to take the time this week. This is your homework, people. Yes, we have homework. Okay. I want you to go through this, and I want you to do your inventory. It's really important, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Don't put a number that you want to be. Put the number that you are. Okay. That's the first step in growth, is honesty. Okay, so as you're going through your relationship inventory, I want you to write down where you are and then think about it, because what I want you to do is at the end of our class, we're going to redo it. And then I want to find out where you are after our class. And I want you to see the growth that you've had just in this short amount of time. I guarantee you it'll be some growth there. I've had some great outcomes with other clients within 30 days. And so I know that us in the next 6 weeks is going to be amazing. So I want you to do this inventory, but I want you to check where you are now, not where you want to be, but check where you are now. And then the next 7 weeks, we're going to come together and we're going to see how we have improved. Guys, what I would like to tell you too is that this week, since we my clock went out, and I mean the screen went out and things like that, I want to personally reach out to each and every one of you. I want to have some time with you. I want to share some thoughts with you. I want to share some things that I wanted to share on the line with you 30 minutes prior, and I want to share them with you individually. So this week, as I send out an email, please respond back to a time that we can get together this week just to talk on the phone and just to share with each other, so that I can just give you some nuggets. Okay. I do have an appointment already with Felicia. I'm hoping to have one with the rest of you guys. So Felicia, we still on Thursday. And then anyone else, if you could just give me a call and let me know your schedule for this week. I would love to sit down and just, we can do this, or we can talk on the phone just to share with you guys some information that I wanted to share with you earlier. Okay. So this week is your relationship inventory. Remember, we are not writing where we want to be. We are writing where we are. And then at the end of our class, we will take another relationship inventory to see how far we've grown. Guys, I love you to life. And I am again apologizing for the technical difficulties that we had. I guarantee you this won't happen next week. Okay, because there won't be any Dallas haters on the line then. Okay, so well, guys, again, congratulations to the Cowboys. Great game, Detroit. I really enjoyed that. And woohoo for Darryl Tapp, a good friend of mine and our families, who had that sack against Romo. I didn't like that, but hey, he's a friend of mine. So again, guys, have a blessed and fantastic week. And please get in touch with me to let me know what your schedule is like this week and next week, so that we can get together and just have that special time with each other. I love you guys to life. God bless you and have a wonderful evening. And remember, to be a real success, you have to know, grow, and sow. God bless you and have a wonderful evening.